Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my everyday makeup drawer for April. I'm so excited because April is like my favorite month of the year. It's not like my birthday month or anything. I just really like April for some reason. But anyways, in my everyday makeup drawer videos, what I like to do is go through my makeup collection, pick out products that I have not used in a really long time that I can rediscover for the month, products that I want to hit pan on or like use up during the month, or new products in my collection that I want to test out, and set them aside in a separate drawer so I can test them out and use them throughout the month. And then I update you guys on my products from the previous month in this video too. So if you guys are interested in picking out the products with me for April, then just keep on watching. Alright, so here is everything that was in my March drawer. I have some products that I barely touched, and then some things that I definitely want to keep in here because I've almost hit pan on or I've almost completely used up. So some things that I definitely want to use up this month. I know I've had this in here I think like the whole year, but I'm like so close to finishing my Bye Bye Pores primer, and it just shows that this is just an awesome primer because it goes with every foundation. It like minimizes your pores. It's still pretty hydrating, leaves your skin matte. So I'm still liking this primer a lot. I'm not super bored of it yet, but I do miss kind of using my other primers regularly, so I definitely want to use it up. My two concealers from Maybelline, the Age Rewind and the Fit Me. I'm almost out of the Fit Me. Love this stuff. I've gone through like 6 or 7 tubes. Also the Age Rewind. I hate the applicator, so it's probably going to be the last time I buy it for a while. But I definitely want to use both of those up for the month because I've just been sticking with my Laura Mercier concealer since I purchased that. I am like super obsessed with that concealer now, so I want to declutter other ones from my collection. My favorite Physicians Formula Butter Blush is basically done, but I am just going to keep it in here. I basically want to use it like all the way up. I know I can like get rid of it now, but I do really love this blush still, so I can get another month use out of it and just be like scraping the sides to completely finish it up. And then I do also have my Lorac contour kit. I actually have been using this every single day because I've been wanting to use it completely up. I'm almost all the way used up of the favorite contour shade in there that's like all over the place. You guys know I'm like obsessed with this, and it was on sale during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, but I totally missed that day. I think I saw it, it was almost midnight when I saw it on my Instagram that it was on sale, and at that point I wasn't about to place an Ulta order, so I'm mad at myself for not buying it for $20, but I don't even mind buying it for full price or like waiting for another Lorac sale. But I still love that, and I'm gonna keep it in here just to completely use up that palette. And I've also been using the Smashbox contour kit a lot. I just mixed together these two shades as a contour shade, and the lightest shade is like a little too fair for me, but I can use it to set my under eyes. But I actually really like this too. It's just a little bit less there's less options in here, and there's only 3 shades, so there's not really like a bronzer shade in there, just really a contour shade. So I've been using that a lot. Then I didn't get much use out of the Smashbox primer stick because I've been using the Bye Bye Pores primer from IT Cosmetics, and that one already like blurs out your pores, so I didn't need like an additional product to do that. And then I put so many highlighters in my drawer for this month. Becca Opal, I want to keep this in here. These new Shimmeristas from L'Oreal, maybe I'll keep one in here this month too. My e.l.f. highlighter in the shade Starlight Glow, a Galactic one. I really did not use any of these because I got the Persona Cosmetics highlighter, and once I find a highlighter that I love, that's literally my favorite highlighter now. So I did not use any of these highlighters because I was just so obsessed with that one. And then I also got the Amrezy highlighter. So those two were basically all I was wearing in March. So I don't think I'm planning on buying any other highlighter this month, so I can actually use the ones I already have in my collection. But I've been really enjoying those a lot, and it was hard to use anything else because I love the look of both of those. Then I have the Too Faced Sweet Tea bronzer, which has been like a holy grail bronzer for me forever. And this shade is actually fairly light. I do prefer the Chocolate Gold bronzer. That one's a lot more deep compared to this one. This one's very, like if you have fair skin, definitely try this one out. And then the Chocolate Gold is better for medium skin tones. I still want to keep this in here because I want to hit pan for some reason. Like I would keep waiting and waiting to hit pan, so I really want to hit pan before this summer. And once it's summer, if I'm like more tan, this bronzer will basically look like a setting powder on me because it is pretty sheer and fair once I do blend it out. Then I have this Wet n Wild palette and Not a Basic Peach. This is actually really great. It's $5. The shimmer shades are not my favorite, but with Fix Plus they look really gorgeous on the eyes, but every matte shade in here is definitely stunning, super pigmented, not patchy. It's a $5 palette, and I did film an Instagram tutorial with this palette. I'll put it up on my Instagram this week. I filmed it like a couple weeks ago, so you guys can see how I used it, and I was wearing it in some videos this month, but this is definitely like a really awesome formula for $5. These shimmer shades aren't my favorite, like I said, but they still look beautiful if you use Fix Plus or like a really nice eyeshadow base. The Huda Beauty palette, like I just couldn't get myself to use it this month. It's almost like I feel like it's a chore for me to use this palette, and it's basically just because the formula isn't my favorite, because the shades look gorgeous, and if you take the time to really blend things out and kind of plan an eyeshadow look, you can get a gorgeous look with this palette. But I haven't had like an hour a day to do my eyeshadow or anything like that, so I should definitely just keep this in here. I'm gonna leave it here for the month so I could do at least one Instagram tutorial with it, especially with the shade Retrograde, that like bluish shade in the corner. It's so pretty, just so I could get more use out of this palette. It's also that I got the Kristen Dominique palette and the Soft Glam palette, and those have been my favorites, so I just completely forgot about Desert Dust. Like I would look at it and then be like, okay, never mind, I just want to use my Dominique Cosmetics palette because it'll take me 5 minutes versus like 30 minutes to blend out the shadows and create like a really nice look. So those are all the products from March that I want to mention for this month. There's a lot of things that I want to keep in here just so I could keep using them and declutter them or just hit pan on them, and then some things I didn't really get to use as much as I wanted to. I don't think I mentioned my MAC Water Weight Foundation. I still really like this, but this is so lightweight. This is very much almost like the Glossier kind of makeup look, like a no makeup look. So I really do like it for like no makeup days, but I've just been into more full coverage now since I'm always using my Bare Minerals foundation, but I still really like that. I'm definitely gonna wear it over the summer. But that is everything for my March drawer. I'm going to empty out some of the products in here and then pick out some products for April. All right, so moving into my blushes, bronzers, highlighters, and I did declutter a couple things this month, but it's definitely not a ton. And there's some things that I've been thinking about, and one of them is the contour stick from KKW Beauty, and I only want to use this just like in honor of the new KKW Beauty Mario collection coming out that I'm super excited for. I'm not the biggest fan of this contour stick. I do love the finish of it, but I always just think the packaging's kind of impractical, like the product's gonna fall out like it did on a lot of people's reviews. I'm always paranoid of that. And it's also, this shade's a little bit light for me. I was kind of in between shades and I just went for the lighter one that's super subtle, but I haven't cream contoured in a really long time, so I might as well just start off with like a more subtle cream contour and then see if I want to just add that back into my routine for like a regular basis. I also used to love this bronzer from No. 7 in Golden Sand. It's such a buttery, like creamy formula. I feel like it doesn't look like I use that much of it, but I was using it for a while last summer and I've put it away for a while, so definitely want to start using that again. And then I'll still be using my Physicians Formula Butter Blush, but on days that I want something more shimmery or glowy, I will use this Milani Luminoso blush that I've had forever. This is probably my second or third Luminoso blush. So this just reminds me of like spring and summer, so it's a good time to like start using it again. It's just like a very classic blush. Let's see what else. I don't really want to add I don't think I'm going to add any highlighters because I didn't use the highlighters from last month, so I just want to keep them all in there. And then maybe one more. I do want to use something from the Balm. So I'm going to add in the Balm Beach Blush. I love this blush so much. It's basically like the same shade as the Physicians Formula blush, but it's just a little bit deeper. It shows up a lot more pigmented than that one. That one's so subtle. This one is a little bit, yeah, just more pigmented and kind of like a bronzy tone. So I love this blush. And then I kind of want to hit pan on the Butter Bronzer, and I don't think I will. Like, if you guys see my Butter Bronzer, it's not something that's like super used up, but this is the first Butter Bronzer I've ever owned. I've had it since it basically came out, and I think I should hit pan by now. Like, I feel like I should have used more of it by now, especially because I've used it so much. So if I use it consistently this month, let me see if I could try to hit pan, or I should have that as like a little bit of a goal for this spring, because it's definitely one of my favorites and it doesn't get enough use. And then I think that's going to be it. I already have 2 blushes, a cream contour, and 2 bronzers. And then I'm going to keep all of those highlighters from last month. Alright, so next for eyeshadow, I'm going to pick out a couple palettes from my main eyeshadow palette drawer, because even though these are my favorites, sometimes I don't use them for like 2 to 3 months. And one thing is the Give It To Me Straight palette. I really love this palette in like February, but I feel like I put it away sooner than I wanted to because of the new palettes that I started to review, and I definitely want to use it more. It's just like such a pretty palette, and I talked about this compared to the Back Talk palette. Definitely recommend this way more than that one. This is super like pigmented. There's a lot of pops of color, or like pink and purple and berry shades in here. So I want to start using this more. And then also the Dream Street ColourPop palette. I don't think I really used this since the holidays, and it does have like my favorite like bluish green shade. Like this is kind of like my favorite colorful eyeshadow color ever. So I think those will be like my 2 main palettes for the month. I actually want to pull out maybe one more. Maybe the, what's it called? The other ColourPop palette. This one is the I Think I Love You palette. I always forget about this palette, and it's still like such a gorgeous palette. I think I don't use it as much because it doesn't have like those warm transition shades that I really like. This is more of like a shimmery lid color palette. You just get like 2 browns and then a black shade for matte colors. But I think this is a really great palette for shimmer shades, and then I could use the other palettes for my matte shades. Alright, so lastly, moving into my face palette. So I mentioned in my face palette collection this kit from Kevyn Aucoin, and I really just want to use the contour side of this. I'm already picking out like a bunch of contour products for the month, but I just want to explore more products in my collection and see which ones I end up using more than the others. So this is the little contour book from the Making Faces beauty book from Kevyn Aucoin, and it's like such a perfect palette for like on the go. And I don't know why I haven't used it as much. I totally like forgot that it was in my collection. But yeah, it just has like a contour shade, something a little bit more cool, something more warm, and then I think this one is like a really subtle highlight shade. So definitely want to use that. I have a feeling that's what I'm going to use the most this month. And then I know I said I didn't want to pick out any additional highlighters, but I'm really curious about this highlighting trio from Kevyn Aucoin too, because it is newer in my collection. But I really want to figure out a way to use these because they are very glittery, but they're also kind of like holographic. So on my cheeks they would be a little too intense, but maybe for like an inner corner highlight or even like a lid color, I just want to play with it and see how I like to use it, if I do like to use it, so I don't just have it like sitting in my collection without really using it ever. Alright, and then I'm going to use this Tarte Wipeout palette for one more month. I've had it for almost 2 years and there's still a lot of product in here, but I think for a cream palette like this, it probably definitely needs to go. Like I don't think it's the most hygienic to keep around for much longer. It's probably like past where I should use it, but because it has so much product still in it, I do want to just use it up a little bit more. Nobody's used it but me, so I'm gonna use it a little bit more just to use especially the 2 color corrector shades that I use like every day. I do like the formula, but they don't even make this palette anymore, and it's kind of just like sitting in my collection, so I'll just use it up a bit more and then probably just end up getting rid of it because I don't think cream contour or cream products should really be in my collection that long. That's definitely probably too long, but I think that's gonna be it for face palette. Alright, so I almost completely forgot to pick out a foundation and maybe an additional primer. And I really do use my foundations all the time. I'm going to go ahead and pull out my Too Faced Born This Way powder. I know I always talk about this, but I've actually only been using my Cover FX powder for like 2 months, and I'm going to use it up probably this week. So I'm going to pull this out and start using this more again. And then I also want to pull out my Too Faced Peach Perfect foundation. I do love this foundation, but I don't use it as much as I want to because the shade is just a little bit beige for me. So let me know if you guys have suggestions just to change like the undertone of a foundation. What I like to do sometimes is just mix it with another foundation, which is what I'll probably end up doing. but I just love this formula so much, but the undertone is just slightly off. And then I also want to pull out the Lancome foundation. I love this foundation a lot, but I haven't used it in a while either because I've been so obsessed with my Bare Minerals and my NARS foundation. Once I find something that I love, I just wear it every single day, and I still love this one, but it's been a little while too. And then I think I'll actually add this foundation to the mix too. I've had it in an everyday makeup drawer like in the past couple months, but this actually has a really like yellowy base, so if I mix it with the Peach Perfect foundation, maybe I can get a little bit of a better shade. It's such a subtle difference in undertone, but to me, like, it drives me insane when I do my makeup if it doesn't have like the correct undertone. So I'm gonna mix maybe a drop of this with this, and then hopefully like that can balance out the undertone a little bit better. And I think that's gonna be it for foundation. There's 3 foundations for this month, and usually I've just been wearing those 2, the NARS and the Bare Minerals that I've been talking about, like non-stop for months. So I think that should be good. And then I'm not gonna pick out any concealer because I have those Maybelline concealers from last month too. Alright guys, so this is everything for my everyday makeup drawer for April. Definitely a lot of old favorites that have just been lost in my collection for a month, a year, 6 months. Definitely products I just completely forgot about that I used to be obsessed with. Even like the butter bronzer I haven't touched in like several months now, and that used to be my obsession. So I'm definitely curious to see if I still love my old favorites. And then there's a lot of things that I do want to either hit pan on or just use up. I'm super into just getting rid of things and using things up right now, especially like with the spring cleaning mindset. I'm doing that with like everything in my house. So of course I'm going to be buying new things. I do have some new things coming in that I'll be reviewing very soon, but as long as I'm also clearing out my collection at the same time, I'm pretty happy. So that is everything for my drawer. Let me know what you guys are going to be using for April in the comments. Let me know anything that you recently picked up in the comments too. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.